Hey everyone, and welcome to the Jim Thomas Gym Business Explainer, powered by MaxMembers.ai. This one's for all of you out there in the trenches, the gym owners, the operators, managers, salespeople, entrepreneurs, and personal trainers. We're about to walk you through a fantastic white paper from Jim Thomas himself. Our goal here is pretty simple: give you some powerful, actionable insights you can use like today. Oh, and hey, for you folks thinking about opening a new gym, buying one, or maybe you just need some working capital, we can help with funding options up to $500K. It's unsecured and there are no restrictions on use. You can check that out at fmconsulting.net. All right, let's get into it.
So, let's kick things off with a question. And be honest, this one might sting a little bit. Does your team actively, dread your sales training meetings? You know that feeling I'm talking about. The heavy sighs, the eyes glazing over. It feels more like a chore they have to get through than a real opportunity, right? And if you're nodding your head right now, then I'm willing to bet these scenes look pretty familiar too. Jim Thomas points out that most gym sales meetings, without even meaning to, just turn into these awful numbers interrogations. Or they become a weekly lecture where you just talk at your team. Or worse, it's a scoreboard of who's winning and who's losing. It's not about coaching, it's just about checking a box. So what's the end result of running meetings like that? Well, honestly, it's pretty toxic. You get a staff that's completely on the defensive, just trying to survive the meeting, engagement totally tanks, nobody's actually learning or using the skills you're trying to teach, and their confidence, which is literally the fuel for sales, just disappears. They might nod along, sure, but you're getting compliance, not real, genuine buy-in. So this is where we get to the heart of the matter. It's about a huge mindset shift. Jim puts it perfectly. Sales meetings should feel like support, not surveillance. Just think about that for a second. The moment your team truly believes that you're there to help them grow, to support them, instead of just watching their every move, the entire vibe in the room just completely changes. It's about building them up, not catching them out. And this slide just nails that difference. A high-impact session is not a numbers interrogation or a lecture. On the flip side, what it does is motivate the team. It teaches skills they can walk out of the room and use on the gym floor that day. It gets them working together to solve problems. And, maybe most importantly, it reinforces their confidence. It's a workshop, not a courtroom. And to really make that new mindset stick, you've got to connect the day-to-day work to a bigger purpose. This can't just be about hitting a sales quota. Every single time your team sells a membership, they are literally helping change someone's life for the better. When they truly, deep down believe that, the whole idea of selling just transforms into something so much more meaningful. Okay, so we've identified the problem, we've got the new mindset. Now for the really practical stuff. Jim Thomas lays out this super simple, repeatable framework that can completely change your meetings. Let's break down exactly how you can build a better session, starting now. And here it is, a simple 6-step recipe. You start with a quick 5-minute icebreaker to get the energy up. Then, you spend about 5 to 10 minutes celebrating wins, and we'll talk more about that in a sec. After that, you tackle challenges as a team. The main event, for 15 minutes, is teaching one and only one core skill. Then comes the part no one likes but everyone needs, 10 minutes of role play to actually practice. And finally, you wrap it all up with clear, simple actions for the week. It's structured, it's safe, and it just works. Now, let's drill down on that celebrate wins step, because the secret here is to highlight the behaviors, not just the results. Yeah, of course, celebrate the big sale, but also celebrate the person who made 20 follow-up calls, or the person who handled a really tough objection perfectly. Why? Because what gets recognized gets repeated. You're rewarding the process, and that's what leads to consistent success. Okay, I gotta pause here because this is the step everyone wants to skip, and it's the one you absolutely cannot. Role play is non-negotiable, period. Look, you can explain a concept 100 times, but real, lasting confidence isn't built from listening, it's built from doing. It's built in the reps. It makes your team prepared, and being prepared is what kills the fear of selling. All right, so you've got this awesome new framework, but even the best plans can go off the rails. So let's quickly cover a few common mistakes that can totally sabotage your efforts so you can make sure all this great training actually sticks. This is basically your cheat sheet. The first big mistake, information overload, trying to teach too much. The solution is simple. One single takeaway per session. That's it. Another one, public criticism. Just don't. The rule is easy to remember. Coach in private, praise in public. And finally, stop obsessing over the scoreboard. Focus on developing skills, because great skills are what create great numbers, not the other way around.
Man, this next line is just so powerful. Training without follow-through is just entertainment. It's not leadership. I mean, think about it. If you teach a skill and then never mention it again, what was the point? You just put on a little show. Real leadership happens in the follow-through, in the days between the meetings, when you show that this stuff actually matters. And this right here might be the biggest takeaway of the whole thing. Jim says sales training is a leadership mirror. Whoa! If your team dreads coming to your meetings, it's not a motivation problem on their end, it's a design problem on yours. And you know what? That's actually great news, because a design problem is something you have 100% control over. You can fix it. So why go to all this trouble? Because the payoff is absolutely massive. You're not just going to see better numbers for a week. No, you're going to build belief, you're going to sharpen skills, you'll strengthen your gym's culture, and you'll see confidence go through the roof. And the best part, the results just start to improve naturally. They become the inevitable outcome of a really healthy system. So if you're listening to this and thinking, okay, I'm ready, I want to build a sales culture that actually wins, then the first step is a better design. And if you want help creating that system for your specific gym, then reach out to the man himself, Jim Thomas. All of his info is right there for you. And a huge special thanks to our sponsor, Gym Business Manager. They make the best gym software for winning gyms, so definitely check them out at gymbusinessmanager.com. And remember, if you want help designing your own high-impact sales system, reach out to Jim Thomas. You can call him at 214-629-7223 or email him at jthomas@fmconsulting.net. Thanks so much for tuning in.